Okay, I'm here to point out the differences for all who don't know between a guitar and a bass guitar. So their backgrounds are different. A guitar, of course, was based off of a lute, and a lute is a instrument that was designed in I don't know where it was designed, but the guitar was invented from the lute. It was an acoustic guitar at first. Then in the early 60s, so, I don't know if it was Fender or Gibson, but one of them invented the solid body electric guitar. The first electric guitars made in the 1930s were not solid body. They were acoustic guitars basically with pickups in them. Now the bass guitar, on the other hand, the bass guitar did not start out acoustic. It started out electric. As a matter of fact, the bass guitar is based off of the double bass, which is basically a stand-up bass guitar. It's basically performs what the role that the bass guitar now performs. The bass guitar completely replaces the double bass. So we're going to start at the headstock. Right away, you'll notice that the tuning keys are larger for two reasons. The first reason is that the this shape for the tuning key is taken from the double bass. Double basses did have these tuning key shape. Next is the so the tuning key shape is one thing. Here's a picture of the tuning key shape. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the way you string the instrument. The guitar, the tuning keys, let's go over that quick. The second reason is because they're easier to turn when they're large like that. You wouldn't want to have to twist these tiny things with strings this thick. But enough with that. The next thing is the way the is strung. On a guitar, you just put the string into the bridge, go up make sure the string's in the nut, and then you slide it through a hole and bend it down and then wind it around. On a bass guitar, you have to measure the string out. You have to put it through the hole, through the slot here, and cut it off about an inch, maybe an inch and a half from the hole. And then you stick the end of the string in the hole and then bend it the other way so that it is going down in the hole and then around the tuning head. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the string tree. On a guitar, the string tree is a thin strip of metal bent to grab the strings. Now, the thing about this is that a bass guitar has to have a much beefier string retainer. The reason for this is if it had a guitar's strings, those two strings alone pull with the force of about maybe 40-50 pounds of tension. These two strings that the string retainer are on pull with about 90 pounds, maybe 100. And these aren't designed to deal with that kind of tension. Now, another difference you'll notice is that the neck on the guitar is way shorter than the neck on a bass. This is because they're trying to keep the bass guitar as close to a double bass as possible. That long neck also is what causes the bridge to be so far down the body as opposed to, see how the bass guitar has the bridge at the bottom of the body? That's both to accommodate that longer neck with the smaller body, but keep the look of an actual double bass. Whereas a guitar's neck is way shorter, and its bridge is almost in the center of the body. Now, another thing you're gonna notice is that the body is larger. This is purely for show. The body being larger is purely for show. let's see, more differences. The truss rod is thicker than in a guitar. A truss rod, now the truss rod is thicker in a bass because a truss rod on a bass has to be bigger, or else the neck will bend hard. The strings are pulling on a guitar. The strings pull with a force of about 200 to 300 pounds. A bass 400 to 500, 400 to 500 maybe. Next, I'll go into the strings. The strings are about twice as thick than the strings on a guitar. They are tuned, these strings are tuned exactly an octave below the first 4 strings on a guitar. So, I don't have them both in tune, so neither of them are in tune actually, but these 4 strings are tuned to a low E, A, D, and G, and the guitar strings are tuned to a octave above E, A, D, G, and then there's the B and E string, so obviously it has more strings. Now the pickups, there are twice as many windings in a bass pickup than there is in a guitar pickup. And the reason for that is higher output. If you put a guitar pickup on a bass, it's not going to be as loud as a guitar. You notice as you play the higher strings on a guitar that the guitar gets louder, and that the guitar gets way louder and more ear piercing than playing the E string. Now a bass guitar is going to be very quiet. You notice as you play the G string on a bass open, it's very low. But if you play this one has 20 frets, maybe 21, I'm not sure. I think it's got 20. But but you can definitely tell the difference in output. Another thing is the pickups. There's usually only one pickup there's between 1 and 2 pickups on a bass. There's rarely ever 3 pickups on a bass. There are a few select basses out there with more than 1 pickup, more than 2 pickups. A guitar can have anywhere between 1 to 5 pickups. It's very rare you find a guitar with more than 3 pickups, but there's usually 1 to 3, but you can find 5 pickup guitars. They're not truly, some of them aren't truly 5 pickups. Most of those 5 pickup guitars are usually just guitars with 3 pickups, but they have two of the humbuckers can be shut. One side of the pickup can be shut down to work as single coils. Another thing is a bass guitar has much stronger potentiometers because they need those or they will blow up the potentiometers. There are a lot of things saying that bass guitars are way easier to play than the guitar. Well, they're not. I can play the guitar way better than I can play the bass. There are many bass lines are rhythm. The ease that comes with playing guitars and that comes with playing the bass is because so many bass lines were easy to play. But if you try if you play a guitar riff, like if I play Black Dog on the guitar, which I don't know how to play, but if I play Black Dog on the guitar, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to play it on the bass. So that, and we're going to talk about the final difference. The final difference, can anybody see it yet? Is it any other things? Okay, I'll tell you. I'm going to get closer to it. The bridge, the saddles on a guitar bridge are made much thinner than the saddles on a bass bridge. This is simply because the bridges wear out really quick and they're extremely hard to replace. It's hard to get the same sound out of a bass guitar after you replace the bridge. Guitar bridges, they're easy to find another bridge. You have a Fender Stratocaster and the bridge gets all ripped up, you can order another one from Fender. Whereas this precision bass bridge, if you have like a like this bridge right here, there's not a lot of them on Amazon. So okay, that's the end of this video, so have a good day.